For 25 years, John Denver was RCA's golden boy, until they dropped him without a second thought. His public image had already cracked, ex-wives exposed his violent temper, and his drinking cost him his pilot's license. By 1997, he was flying illegally. The experimental plane he piloted that day had a known design flaw, and it killed him. Investigators soon discovered something darker. The crash could have been prevented. The warnings had been ignored. What really happened that day will shock you. Born Henry John Deutschendorf Jr. on December 31, 1943, in Roswell, New Mexico, John grew up in a military family obsessed with flying. His father, Dutch Deutschendorf, was a decorated Air Force pilot who broke speed records and earned a spot in the Hall of Fame. But constant moves across Arizona, Alabama, and Texas left John feeling uprooted and isolated. At 11, his grandmother gave him a 1910 Gibson guitar. It became his anchor. Music let him express the emotions he couldn't speak. Singing with the Tucson, Arizona Boys Chorus gave him belonging school never did. By high school, he was playing folk gigs. Music wasn't just a passion, it was his escape. His relationship with his father was strained. Dutch was strict, John was gentle, but they bonded over flying, a passion they eventually shared, though it brought risks John couldn't escape. After high school, John enrolled in architecture at Texas Tech, but dropped out to pursue music. He moved to Los Angeles and adopted the stage name Denver, inspired by Colorado's natural beauty. In 1965, out of 250 auditioning singers, he was chosen to lead the Chad Mitchell Trio. It was his big break. He spent 2 years touring, recording 3 albums, and sharpening his songwriting. One of his early originals, Leaving on a Jet Plane, became a #1 hit when Peter, Paul, and Mary recorded it in 1967. By 1969, his lyrics were echoing across the country. John Denver's rise as a solo artist began after the Mitchell Trio disbanded. In 1971, his breakthrough album Poems, Prayers, and Promises featured Take Me Home Country Roads, a song that nearly failed due to sound issues. But thanks to manager Jerry Weintraub's push, it hit #2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and went gold. The song became an enduring anthem, selling over 1.5 million digital copies by 2017. West Virginia made it a state anthem in 2014. In 1972, Denver released Rocky Mountain High. It became his first top 10 album, and the title track reached the Billboard Hot 100's top 10 in 1973. Decades later, Colorado named it an official state song. From 1974 to 1975, Denver dominated the charts with 4 #1 hits: Sunshine on My Shoulders, Annie's Song, Thank God I'm a Country Boy, and I'm Sorry. These tracks showed his range, from gentle ballads to lively anthems. He also released 3 #1 albums: Greatest Hits, 1973, Back Home Again, 1974, and Wind Song, 1975. His greatest hits became RCA's bestseller, even outselling Elvis. In total, Denver wrote about 200 of the 300 songs he recorded and sold over 33 million records worldwide. In 1977, he surprised audiences by starring in the hit film Oh God with George Burns. Despite being new to acting, his natural charm won over viewers. The film earned $51 million and an Oscar nomination for its screenplay. Denver's image, blonde hair, wire-rimmed glasses, and embroidered Western shirts became iconic. Designed by Anna Zapp, his style reflected the warmth and sincerity of his music. Internationally, Denver won fans through TV specials, especially in the UK. Weintraub bypassed critics by going straight to audiences, and it worked. Denver's love for Colorado ran deep. After moving to Aspen, he was named State Poet Laureate in 1974. His music captured the spirit of the Rockies, and in 2007, Rocky Mountain High became one of Colorado's official state songs. His 1975 TV special An Evening with John Denver won an Emmy, and he continued to appear in beloved specials throughout the 70s and 80s, bringing his music into millions of homes. John Denver's TV specials brought his music into homes worldwide, making every performance feel personal and heartfelt. By the mid-80s, he wasn't just a singer, he became a voice for artistic freedom. In 1985, before the U.S. Senate, Denver defended his song Rocky Mountain High after it was mistakenly censored for drug references. standing firmly against warning labels on music. That same year, Denver made history as the first American artist to tour the Soviet Union in over a decade. Playing 11 concerts across Moscow, Leningrad, and Tallinn, he became a cultural bridge during tense Cold War times. Inspired by this experience, he wrote "Let Us Begin," a hopeful anthem for peace. His 1987 return to the USSR saw him perform at a benefit for Chernobyl victims, raising significant funds and showing his deep compassion. In 1992, Denver toured China, where his songs like Country Roads were already popular. His concerts were broadcast to billions, and Chinese youth embraced him as a hero, proof of his global reach. Later in life, Denver focused on philanthropy. He donated proceeds from his homegrown Greatest Hits album to homeless charities and co-founded the World Hunger Project, earning a Presidential World Without Hunger award. He also championed the environment through the WinStar Foundation and reforestation efforts. But behind the fame, Denver's personal life was troubled. His first marriage to Annie Martell, for whom he wrote Annie's Song, ended bitterly in 1982 amid reports of anger and emotional abuse. A notorious incident saw Denver destroy furniture with a chainsaw after Annie cut down trees at their Aspen home, shattering his gentle public image. In 1985, Denver met Australian singer Cassandra Delaney. They married in 1988 and had a daughter, Jessie, in 1989, surprising many, as Denver had long believed he was sterile. But their marriage soon showed cracks. Cassandra later revealed Denver's moods were volatile, with jealousy and harshness replacing the charm fans knew. Staff often feared him, and emotional abuse took a toll. They separated in 1991 and divorced by 1993, ending a painful chapter in Denver's life that contrasted sharply with his public persona. John Denver's life spiraled from beloved folk hero to tragic figure in ways few expected. His bitter legal battle with second wife Cassandra, which included a $3.3 million lawsuit and a custody fight for their daughter Jessie, left both deeply wounded. In his 1994 autobiography, Take Me Home, Denver shocked fans by revealing struggles with drugs, affairs, and violent outbursts, shattering his gentle image. He confessed to using a chainsaw to cut their bed in half during his first marriage's bitter end. Once a chart-topping star in the 1970s, Denver saw his career decline in the 1980s as pop and MTV took over. RCA dropped him despite his success, forcing him to release music independently. Meanwhile, flying, his great passion, became troubled. After 2 DUI arrests, the FAA revoked his medical certificate, making him legally unfit to fly. But Denver ignored FAA warnings, exploiting a legal loophole to keep flying, a dangerous choice. On October 12, 1997, just one day after buying a heavily modified experimental plane, Denver took off near Monterey, California. The plane's complicated controls, including a fuel selector valve that required pliers and awkward maneuvers, led to disaster. Running out of fuel in one tank, Denver reached blindly to switch tanks but accidentally hit the rudder pedal. The plane nosedived into the Pacific Ocean, killing him instantly. Investigators blamed his unfamiliarity with the plane, poor design, and insufficient fuel, all avoidable mistakes. Denver's tragic final flight remains a powerful reminder of how hidden dangers and bad decisions can have fatal consequences. Please subscribe to our channel for more videos, and don't forget to press the bell icon.